Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are looking at compassion as worship, the divine call to charity. We're unpacking a truly profound concept from our source material, the deep divine purpose behind helping those in need. So often, we just view charity as a civic duty, right? Like a nice thing to do when we happen to have some spare time or spare cash. But the text we're exploring today, it literally flips that completely on its head. We're going to examine compassion not just as a social good, but as a direct, powerful act of worship. So, let's get right into it.
Is helping the poor serving God? It's a really powerful thought, isn't it? I mean, think about your daily commute, or just walking through the city. How often do we walk past someone facing poverty or hunger without even a second thought? We might feel a fleeting moment of pity, but what if we're actually walking past an opportunity to serve the divine? Our source material today suggests exactly that. It challenges us to completely reframe how we view the marginalized people we encounter every single day.
Okay, let's dive into this. Expressing God's love. The text establishes a core theme right out of the gate. Expressing divine love means looking beyond our own needs. It challenges us to step into the world of the marginalized as a tangible, real-world expression of that love.
To really grasp this paradigm shift, we kind of have to redefine charity altogether. It's not merely a social duty. It is a direct act of worship, a practical expression of love for God. The text we're drawing from repeatedly teaches that loving the needy is fundamentally an expression of our love for the divine. When you give to someone who has nothing, you aren't just participating in philanthropy, you're participating in worship. You're literally taking the love you hold for the divine and giving it a physical form in the real world.
Let's move to and see how this builds in the light of the Bible. To anchor this concept, the source material turns to scriptural evidence, making the case that loving the needy is, in fact, loving God.
Just listen to this beautiful quote from Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17. "Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done." The text really wants us to let the weight of that promise sink in for a second. When you show empathy and kindness to a person in poverty, the scripture states that you are lending to God himself. And the incredible promise attached to this? God takes on that debt. He promises to personally reward the work you've done for the vulnerable.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact contrast we're analyzing today. The standard worldly view is just a simple material transaction, right? Giving your resources to a poor person. One person has less, one has more, money changes hands, and that's the whole shebang. But the biblical view transforms this into lending your resources directly to the Lord. It takes a simple earthly transaction and turns it into a profound divine connection. You aren't just handing out cash, you're interacting with the Creator.
The source text then brings us to the teachings of Jesus Christ in Matthew chapter 25. "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Here, Jesus directly associates himself with the marginalized. He identifies so closely with the hungry, the thirsty, and the poor that any service rendered to them is directly attributed to him. The source material argues that this completely erases the line between loving God and loving our most vulnerable neighbors.
What is true service? We need to broaden our understanding of charity here, because you might be wondering, what if you don't have financial resources? Well, true service isn't dependent on your bank account. This divine calling is accessible to absolutely everyone.
Now, what's really interesting here is that charity is much more than money. As the source breaks it down, it's love, it's encouragement, it's sharing your education, giving food and clothes, and crucially, your time. Giving an hour of your time to listen to someone who is lonely or offering genuine encouragement to someone who is struggling, that is just as valuable, if not more so, than writing a check. You're giving a piece of your actual life to someone else. The source material highlights a really beautiful truth here. Sometimes, a single kind word can be a massive blessing for a broken heart. Never underestimate the incredible healing power of simple kindness. In a world that can often feel super cold and isolating, your kind word might literally be the only light someone sees that day. You don't need a grand gesture to perform an act of worship. A simple moment of genuine, warm human connection can be a profound act of charity.
This brings us to a famous principle found in Acts chapter 20, verse 35. It is more blessed to give than to receive. And this isn't just a nice-sounding platitude. It's a fundamental truth about human nature and divine design. The core lesson the text imparts is that true happiness, deep, lasting joy, it's found in giving to others rather than taking for ourselves. When we pour our energy, our time, and our resources into lifting others up, we unexpectedly find that our own spirits are lifted right along with them.
Understanding this paradigm shift is only half the journey, though. The other half is action. The text calls for the blessings of generosity and a pledge, making a real commitment to serve. Let's look at what that actually entails.
So, the crucial point is this pledge to society. This pledge requires us to commit to helping the poor, the orphans, the widows, and the needy. But crucially, we must fiercely protect their self-esteem. True charity doesn't demean the receiver. It preserves their dignity. We aren't looking down on anyone here. We're looking at them with genuine love, recognizing their inherent worth as individuals loved by the divine. How we give is absolutely just as important as what we give.
To conclude our scriptural journey today, we look at Proverbs 22, verse 9. The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. It's a beautiful full-circle promise. As we reflect on this, the text invites readers to cultivate a heart that genuinely feels the pain of others, a heart that isn't burdened by service, but finds pure, unadulterated joy in it. Because when we share what we have, we step right into a cycle of divine blessing.
Which leaves us with this final, vital question. Knowing that serving the needy is literally serving God, how will you change your actions today? Will you look at the person on the street differently? Will you find a way to offer a kind word, a bit of your time, or your resources to someone in need this very week? I highly encourage you to take this profound paradigm shift and immediately apply it to your daily life. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you leave today feeling inspired to serve.